Well, of course, you know, if Schintzius does go down there and play and become the player that people feel he has the potential to become, it could very well be that they would play both Robinson and Schintzius at the same time. Robinson can play the big forward spot with his mobility, so that's something that I'm sure Larry Brown has given some consideration to.
By the way, the lovely young lady you saw the picture of there is the fiancée of Dwayne Schintzius. He's planning to get married early in July. Let's go up to Craig Sager.
Well, Dwayne, you may have thought those practices with Don DeVoe would be long and arduous, but what about this last 2.5 hours?
That was the longest wait of my life. It's over. I'm finally a member of the NBA. Hopefully I can go down there to San Antonio and just do my best. It's about time.
Well, you sat back there and your head dropped on several different occasions, and you got one of these hats on. You got to feel good about that. But what did you do to these people here in New York? Every time they showed your picture, we got a bad reaction. Why?
I don't know. There's really no way to say. Hopefully I can just go down there now. I just want to try to be the best player I can be, and hopefully they'll grow to love me here.
Well, they've got a great player in David Robinson down there, so there's no pressure on you to play in San Antonio, so you're going to a good situation, and you don't have to worry about winning. Larry Brown loves those kind of guys.
Well, thank you. Larry, I had the privilege of playing for Coach Brown overseas. I had the privilege of playing with David Robinson at the U.S. Olympic trials, and they're both great people, and I'm just proud to be a part of their organization.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Obviously, the reputation has followed you. That's why you dropped so far in this first round. Do you feel that you have to change? You have to sacrifice what you are to become maybe a star in the NBA, or for what you can become?
I doubt it. I think I'm a good person, and my basketball abilities will soon speak for themselves. I just want to try to help out the team the best I can and just go down there and get started with my life again.
What are those abilities? What can you do for the San Antonio team?
Hopefully I can just give David Robinson a big body to smash up against and improve my skills as well, because I feel that he is the best player in the league as far as big men go, and it'll be an honor to play with him.
We saw your fiancée, Lynn Avery. Maybe you can take her down to San Antonio, go on down the river on your honeymoon.
Exactly. I'm getting married July 7th, and I couldn't have found a better woman. I love you, Ling Ling.
Okay, Dwayne Schintzius goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Let's go back to Bob Neal.
You can see the look of happiness on Dwayne Schintzius' face. A chance to be reborn, a chance to restart for this young man who had a troubled career in Florida. So you got to wish him the best.
You know, I can empathize with the young man. We've talked about his attitude and all the other things. It's all been predicated on things that he had done on a basketball court. We don't know the young man as a person. I know a lot of people had a feeling about Rick Barry, the person that they saw on the basketball court. I always felt that I was a lot different as a person, and I think until you get to know Dwayne Schintzius as a person, don't prejudge him as a human being. Let's give him a chance.
You know, I also think you saw a very humble look on his face up there. This is a humiliating night for him from the standpoint of sitting there and watching all these guys go ahead of him. He knows he has more talent than a lot of them. Maybe a message was sent to him tonight that will help him grow up and help him be a better person as well as an NBA player.
So Dwayne Schintzius, 275 pounds, 7 feet tall. He has big-time skills, and he'll get a chance to show them off in a non-pressurized way should he stay there at San Antonio. And, of course, unless there's a deal, he'll do just that. Now, Portland comes up next for pick number 25, 59 victories this year. Very exciting run in the playoffs. You say a team like Portland, what kind of help do they need?
Well, I think you need to add another shooter, and I look for it to be maybe a Brian Oliver from Georgia Tech or possibly an A.J. English. Both those guys can fill it up. It gives them another guard in the backcourt and something to go with the strong team they had this year.
You know, an outside chance could be, I mean, they seem to like these foreigners. They went for Sabonis, didn't get him. How about Kukoc? I mean, he could at least talk to somebody when he came over and talk to Drazen, keep Drazen company, and he's a heck of a basketball player. I mean, that would not be a very bad pick. I mean, he's 6'9". He can play out and play the two-guard spot. He can play the small forward. He can handle the ball. He just needs to get a little stronger physically. You know, that might be a surprise pick there for Portland.
Talking about, of course, Tony Kukoc, who's playing for Jugoplastika Split in the Yugoslavian League. Now, Kukoc does have, there is a question about just what kind of contract and years he has remaining with Jugoplastika. And, of course, obviously in the recent years, ask the Boston Celtics, when you select a player of international capabilities, you will find out that you might have contract problems. You might have to pay, if you're the team, a large fee to the team, because Dino Radja is also with Jugoplastika Split, and he's still playing there as far as the Boston Celtics know. So that's a question about Kukoc, but he is a 6'9" player who can create his own shot, and a lot of people think he may be as good an athlete as who has come out of Yugoslavia. So Portland will come up next. Let's find out who they're going to select. Here's David Stern. With the 25th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Ala Abdelnaby from Duke University. Ala Abdelnaby from Duke University. He's 6'10". He's a forward center, can really switch between the positions. Came alive toward the end of the season at Duke. Played a center at Duke, but can be a power forward in the NBA. He's listed somewhere between 6'9", 6'10", 240 pounds. And here's a player, I know both of you fellas have said this before, to watch sometimes when you're thinking about selecting a pro player, will he continue improving?
Well, I think he had a very, very good tournament. I think that he opened a lot of eyes. He's a very active player. I think when you think of Portland, they were thinking shooters. But Abdelnaby, what he does, he gives them a backup to Buck Williams with size. Also, you have to question the fact that, Duckworth had an injury problem out there. Their other backup big man was Wayne Cooper, who had some back spasms. So this ensures their front line to give them some more strength. A good big man with good mobility.
Well, you talked about improvement as you get an opportunity to watch him, getting some good body position there. Really came on in his senior year and worked hard. 4 points a game, 5 points, 9 points, 15 points. His percentage on free throws went up to 77, 78%. Shot almost 60%. This is a young man, again, that was on the upswing. And let's face it, if you're going to talk about a player knowing the game of basketball, when you play for Coach K down there at Duke, you learn what basketball is about. And he's had some great experience being into the Final Four situation a number of times. This is a fine young man who's going to be a nice addition to Portland. People in Portland will probably love him. He's showing that he's working hard, and again, being a good person, that'll fit in very well because Portland's a great community, and the people like good people up there.
All right, let's go meet this young man from Duke. Here's Craig Singer.
Well, thanks, Bob. For a person who was born in Egypt, who played goalkeeper on our high school soccer team, and then did not become a full-time starter your senior year, has been playing in the NBA always been a dream for you, or when did you first realize that, hey, this is my career, my future?
It's always been a dream. Ever since I was a little kid, I was the type of person that spent all day playing in the parks, and I guess my mom and dad would attest to that. And you emulate your idols out there, and you try to imitate some of the stuff they do. And I can't believe this day is here, and I'm very fortunate, thank God.
Who are your idols?
Kareem's a big idol of mine. It's somebody that, for the stuff he's done on and off the court, I admire him a lot for his accomplishments.
Ala, you were the last one in that room, man. I know that when you started, you had a lot of friends. What were you thinking as you sat in that room by yourself with 3 teams left on the board?
Well, you didn't have to remind me about that. It got lonely back there. I started to sweat. I mentioned to you earlier, I sweat more back there than I did in a couple of games we played this year. It just got lonely, but the Portland team, the Portland organization is a great organization, and obviously their success this past year speaks for itself, and I'm very fortunate to be affiliated with them.
Well, Duke had a winning program. The Trailblazers have it now, and they hope that you can add something to it.
I hope so, too. It should be a lot of fun.
Well, Abdelnaby from one successful team last year, Duke, to another team that had a lot of success, the Portland Trailblazers. And there's a look at his parents, Abdul and Ferio. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and adjust to your face for the best shave a man can get. Closer, smoother, safer. New Gillette Sensor.
When you're a company that makes building products, you get real familiar with trees. Georgia Pacific has known these trees for over 50 years. We planted most of them. You know them as our double-sanded Southern Gold plywood or our designer paneling.
But GP also has products like shingles, nails, gypsum, which don't come from trees at all. So whether the building supplies you need grow on trees or not, ask for GP. That's all you need to know.
If you can't get enough of your favorite toppings, Pizza Hut has the pizzas you'll love. Do you love me? The Meat Lovers Pizza. 6 mouth-watering meat toppings smothered between 2 luscious layers of cheese. And now the new Veggie Lovers Pizza with peppers, mushrooms, and tons of other great veggies. Now get a Meat Lovers or new Veggie Lovers for $9.99 and 2 for just $4 more. Do you love Meat Lovers, Veggie Lovers. Now who do you love? Pizza Hut. Making it great.
Sunday Night Alert. The NFL comes to TNT. Sunday Nitro. Games begin August 19th on TNT.
The 1990 NBA Draft from the Jacob Javits Convention Center in New York City. Eric Coleman was the first player selected. Let's take a look at the most recent picks here. The 22nd pick overall, Tate George, went to New Jersey. Sacramento took Anthony Bonner. That was the 23rd pick. The 24th pick, Dwayne Schintzius, went to San Antonio, and Ala Abdullahi went to Portland, and now we are ready for the world champion Detroit Pistons, whom I agree with you two fellas, it would have been a great matchup to see Dwayne Schintzius go up there, because the folks in Detroit would have loved him. They think that New York hated him now. If he came in here in a Detroit uniform, it'd really be something. What are they going to do, Detroit Pistons?
Well, you know, I think that one of the things you have to be concerned about is, you know, Bill Lambert's talked a little bit about retiring. Also, they're going to have to think about reducing some of James Edwards' minutes. He played heavy minutes this year as a starter for them. Also, you have to think about a guard, maybe a shooting guard named A.J. English, Brian Oliver, someone along that mold.
Well, let's find out. We're going to hear right now from David Stern.
With the 26th pick in the 1990 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Lance Blanks from the University of Texas.
So the second player selected from the University of Texas, Travis Mays, had gone earlier. Lance Blanks, I can hear the sportscasters now when he misses about firing blanks. Aggressive, mix it up, good leaper. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, he sort of fits into the mold of the Detroit guards. Those tough guys who are going to step out on the floor and meet you, take a challenge. This guy is also a guy that does a lot of talking and did not endear himself to a lot of the fans in the Southwest Conference. He is a talented player, but did not make a lot of friends out there with his aggressive style and the fact that he wasn't afraid to talk.
Yeah, well, you know, you like guys that are aggressive. He and Dennis Rodman will make quite a pair over there of playing together. But, you know, again, when you go to a team like the Pistons, you have to feel fortunate enough to be on a team that, of course, is going to win some basketball games, but you also have to be a realist and know that it's going to be very difficult for you to get some major playing time. So if you go in with the right attitude, you're going to learn from some of the best players in the game, and hopefully you have an opportunity to get better through practice, because you're not going to get a lot of playing time unless they're blowing people out.
Now, the Los Angeles Lakers will pick last in the first round. The Lakers had the best record in the NBA in regular season play. The Lakers won 63 games, had a disappointing playoffs, as you obviously well know. Jerry West made changes there. One change, of course, is that Pat Riley is out and going to TV land, and Mike Dunleavy is the new head coach. The Lakers, one of those teams a couple of years ago, you'd go, well, they just don't have any weaknesses. But now the Lakers are having to make some changes to continue to build.
Well, when you talk about the West, you talk about San Antonio, Utah, Portland, all these teams now sneaking up into their territory, and the Lakers could very well be a team that goes from 63 wins to 52-53, and Phoenix and San Antonio, Portland, and Utah start knocking on the door. So important pick here for them. Normally Jerry West likes the guys who are in the 6'7", 6'8" range that can really run, versatile players, maybe play two positions. You know, you look down on the board, who's available. Don't take away a guy like a Marcus Liberty from Illinois who would fit in that mold, or one of the shooting guards that we have yet to mention, maybe even a Bimbo Cole.
Yeah, how about, you mentioned, how about maybe another Yugoslavian player to go with?
Of course, he's got somebody to talk to again. I mean, you know, he's got Vlade Divac over there.
Let's find out. Here's David Stern.
With the 27th pick in the 1990 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Eldon Campbell from Clemson University. Conducting the second round of the draft will be NBA Vice President of Operations Rod Thorne. Golden State selects next.
All right, so Golden State will make the first selection in the second round. The first round is over. There's only 2 minutes between selection time as we go to the second round. And remember, the NBA went to 3 rounds last year, and this year only 2 rounds. But let's talk about Eldon Campbell. He comes out of Clemson University and will be going to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, he's a very skilled player. He can shoot the basketball. He can block shots. A very athletic player. The question had been on him as he's not really played to his potential. He's been up and down and not been very consistent.